Don't wait for tomorrow. Live for today. Keep chasing the sunshine and go out and play.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another happy Thursday at JK's Deal Reveal. And I am very, very excited to be with you this Thursday for a couple of reasons. Let's jump right into it. So it's nice to see you all here, those who are already in and those logging in on Facebook and so forth. So nice to have you here. Sterling and Marvin and Marianne and AZ, Kimberly, and everyone who's popping in and who will be popping in, welcome. And I want to tell you why I'm so excited. I'm so excited because this past weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Janie and I and the whole JK team, we got together and we delivered massively for our community. Once again, delivering our 12th US real estate investing blueprint, our 12th, wow. And we were celebrating our 7th year helping Canadians buy US real estate as Canadians. Sometimes not even going to the States at all and benefiting from assets at a discount, cash flow and equity with every purchase. And so this may have been the very last blueprint that we do, at least in this form. So we're done for 2022, 2023, we really don't know what's there. And so we hope you've attended this one or a past one, or you're looking to catch the recording because this was probably the best one we've had. We had some amazing panelists, community members sharing their success. Our guest speakers were phenomenal as usual. And of course, we give all the basics for a Canadian or foreign national wanting to get started investing in the US. So that's the first reason I'm super, super excited. The second reason I'm, well, maybe not excited, but I want to let everyone know that you missed the boat. Basically, JK's Entrepreneurship, which is our morning wake-up call at 6:30 a.m. Eastern, is arriving to Harbor this Monday, meaning there is no more calls for the rest of the year starting Monday. We've been doing this, it's been 3 years we've been doing these morning calls, and sometimes we take a month off, 2 months off, and we bounce around. And this was tomorrow morning and Monday are going to be the final morning calls of 2022, and we're only going to be starting up in 2023. Okay, so if you missed the boat, well, just know that next time when it's about to set sail, you can jump on board and join this amazing morning support, health, wealth, and abundance call, where it's much more than real estate, but it's about the lifestyle and being whole, being happy, being healthy in the process of building that wealth. Because without health, we have nothing. That's second. Third reason I want to get super excited today is that we're going to take a look at a potential deal here that was submitted by Alex. So thank you, Alex, for submitting this deal. And it's going to be a different deal reveal today because I can't tell you all that much about it because I'm under NDA, which means there's a non-disclosure agreement that I signed, meaning I can't talk about it. And here I am cross-posting on Facebook and everything. So I'm going to talk in generalities about the deal. I'm not going to tell you locations or specific financials. No one will be able to find this deal, but I want to talk about it. And I want to talk about the type of opportunities that are coming up that we've been seeing for the last 3 months, and more it's been compounding. It's becoming bigger, more frequent, more obvious, more pronounced. And for the people who join the blueprint and who understand the creative real estate acquisition strategies that we cover, that combined with the market that we are entering into, that we've already entered into, combined, there is ways to, you can't even imagine, but you might hopefully at the end of this call, which I don't think is going to take very long today. So hitting my inbox, and listen, I'm so excited, okay, not last night because I cooled down a little bit, but 2 nights ago, I was so excited by all the opportunities from in the community from our own inbox, our own deals, our own investors. The whole picture was so exciting that I could not sleep. And I am a baby when it comes to sleep. Like, I need my 8.5 hours a night, and I put big systems and routines and rituals to make sure I get my sleep to always be on top of my game at my 100%. But I could not sleep. I was so excited. I got like 3.5 hours of sleep, and I did all the tricks. I wrote down all my thoughts so they'd be out of my head. I got up. I walked around. I ended up calling a friend to just like, whew, super exciting. One of the many opportunities that were on my mind 2 nights ago was this one. Hitting my one of our deal inboxes was an opportunity to buy a car wash. I'm going to say in Cleveland. It's not in the city of Cleveland, but let's just call it Cleveland. So I'm not breaking any laws with the NDA that I signed. Well, this is what I'm going to tell you about it. They are asking $1.8 million for this car wash in Cleveland. And by the way, our deal reveal has started. I want you to let me know if this is a deal or no deal. So we have a car wash with 2021 numbers. So not this year's numbers, last year's numbers. This is what's being presented. Asking $1.8 million. Gross revenue for last calendar year was $416 or 400-ish thousand dollars. And with a net operating income, so after paying for the expenses, we're right around $200,000 a year. So I'm going to say this is not like inner city hood Cleveland. I'm going to tell you that the area is good. It's a good area. I'm telling you it's $1.8 million to buy. I'm telling you that it's generating $200,000 a year net based on last year's full 12-month rolling calendar year. I'm going to tell you that the sale comes with the real estate, so the building, the land, and the business. So this is not just buying the business for like 5 times net income, because there's real estate and land that come with it as well. I'm going to tell you that the equipment in the car wash allegedly was basically replaced in 2018. So 4 years ago, the equipment for that car wash was redone. I'm going to tell you that, what is it else that I wanted to say? Basically in the expenses, there's about 100,000 that's allotted to salaries, payroll. And so that's important because when you're buying a business, often sellers or brokers can omit some salaries. And so that makes a big difference in the numbers, especially the smaller the businesses are. And if it's an owner-run business who's not writing their own salary in the numbers to make the numbers look better, that can make a serious difference. So there's 100,000 in the P&L that identifies for salaries. Now, to be confirmed if the owner is working there or not, and if their salary is then there, but at least there's a line item that's not negligible for the business. And in Cleveland, $90,000, it's basically 3 to 4 full-time employees. So that could make sense running a pretty automated business like a car wash. 1.8 million. I'm also going to tell you, well, first of all, let's just run some very quick numbers. So let's say it is making 200,000 a year, and we pay 1.8 million for it, cash. That's an 11 cap, okay? So right out the gate, that piece of real estate that you would buy would be an 11 cap right out the gate, okay? So this is not negotiated yet. And I'm going to tell you what I'm going to put my offer in at, because there's protocols we need to go through when we're buying something this size, like a letter of intent with proof of funds. So we're getting the paperwork together. But I want to let you know that I'm basically putting an offer in at $1.3 million cash for this property. Okay, property and business. So right out the gate, they're asking it at an 11 cap, and basically you get the business for free. right? If you just look at it as a real estate asset, as a commercial lending real estate asset, it's generating this much money, and that's the price. So it's another 11 cap, and you're getting the business for free. Any marketing, websites, the power team they built, the employees that have maybe been there for a long time, maybe not, we don't know, but that's what's happening. If we get it for 1.3 million, we'd be buying it at a 15 cap, okay? Which is pretty sweet. 15 cap plus the business is for free, and the equipment's rather new and so forth. And it's a rather automated business. So a couple of things here. We're somewhere between an 11 and a 15 cap. If someone wanted to immigrate to the US and buy a business, this is like the perfect or one of the best investments they can do, because you're already buying 2 to 5 employees in the process. You understand, you're buying the position, you're the responsible for employment of 2 to 5 employees, which could be which is a criteria of the E2 investor visa, and an investment of at least $100,000, which obviously this will qualify for. So if someone is wanting to just immigrate to the States, and wants a good investment, something like this could be pretty sweet. So how about right now, tell me, is this a deal or no deal for you based on your criteria? For those on the call today, let's just go with this. And yes, the chat's probably disabled like it always is, and we need to fix that. But in the Q&A section, is this a deal or no deal based on what I said? Good area. It has last year's financials, 12 years of financials. I asked, let me clarify, I asked them if they can provide proof of year to date for 2022, and I'm waiting for that answer. But assuming the answer is yes, and we're still on track for 2022 being exactly the same, I have one deal from the audience coming in. Fantastic. Okay. Anybody else? Deal or no deal? So there's that. Next, I want to basically say something very, very important in these deals and in this market cycle. I'm going to put in a cash offer at 1.3. But really, I don't want them to say yes. What I would prefer is we negotiate something around 1.5 and they do something creative with us. Like maybe we buy their company, which comes with the business and the real estate. Maybe they do some seller financing. Maybe we do a master lease with option. Maybe we do a contract for sale. We do something so I don't have to find a $1.3 million, right? Hey, maybe there's someone on the call with $1.3 million that wants to do the deal with us. We can have a conversation if that comes up. But assuming I'm going to just do this on my own, I ideally would like something creative out of the deal. So what I didn't tell you when this deal hit my inbox is that basically it just boom, here it is, Carwash 1.8 million, 200,000 NOI, seller willing to seller finance with a sizable down payment. Straight out the gate, seller is willing to seller finance with a sizable down payment. In my mind, sizable down payment is 20 to 50%. That's what I go in with the impression. It might be less, might be more, but that's what I'm going to go in assuming. But you'll notice I didn't go and say, oh my God, you're willing to seller finance? Okay, great. Like, how much are you willing to seller finance? It really helps me out because I don't have all that much money and I don't have any US credit. In fact, I'm not even US citizen. I'm a Canadian, and I probably won't even go down and look at the property. And yeah, it would be really cool if you could, seller finance me $1.7 million and I'll put in 100,000 and we make the deal happen. If that's the way you enter into a negotiation, chances are very, very low that you'll be taken seriously. So what does JK do? JK goes in with a cash offer of 1.3, something that I'm reasonably comfortable they're going to say no to, because just the business is 5 to 7 times NOI. Just the business, not the real estate, just the business. That's a quick, depends on the industry, depends on a lot of things, but just real gross and quick, 5 to 7 times. So let me be generous and say 7 times the net income. Net income is 200, 7 times is 1.4, and I'm going in at 1.3. So I'm reasonable. I'm fairly confident they're going to say no to 1.3. And even if they said yes in our due diligence, they're probably lying in the numbers somewhere. So I'm not too concerned. I want to get in there as a serious potential buyer. That's the impression. That's the impression I want to give. And then build a relationship and a connection with the seller to buy this. So cash offer to begin. And then when they say no to my 1.3, or when they say, well, we can do 1.6. Well, what just happened? I just chopped off 200,000 off that sale. Okay. And so the deal's already getting better. And then once they come out to 1.6, I'm going to say for a cash offer, our offer is 1.3. I might be able to cut some corners. I might be able to negotiate some better closing cost, or with our due diligence team to cut a couple $1,000, maybe up to like 50,000, but I don't see really much more than that. So our cash offer is really 1.3, 1.35 at the most. Tell me what's making you go at 1.6. Tell me the story. What's the story behind that? Do you have a mortgage? Are you going to roll this into a 1031 exchange? Like, what's happening? I'm going to get more information out of the deal to see why 1.6. Is it just some number they made up in their head, or there's a real reason behind this? From there, we're going to negotiate, and I'm going to stay firm with my cash offer, and then I'm going to provide solutions to get as close to their number, 1.6, it might be 1.5. I'm going to bring one of my creative tools to the table to get as close or to that number. And now I am doing them a favor by doing something creative to reach their number, because what I want is cash at 1.3. That's what works, right? If they said yes, they would be doing me a favor at that point. Anything else, we have to position it as we are doing them a favor to get off our 1.3. If that is not your posture, chances of getting a creative deal are very low. Either the seller is just desperate for whatever reason, right? Or there might be something hidden and they really want to get rid of the property, okay? So let's say we agree at 1.6 million with 50% seller financing. Seller financing, in my experience, is usually between 0 and 5%. Those are typical seller finance interest rate terms, 0 to 5%. Most being at 0 rather than 5. In fact, it's usually 0 or 5, depending on how it goes. It's usually one or the other. But that's the range. And so in today's market right now, if you tried to get financing with an asset-based lender, you're in the 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, plus 2, 3, 4 points. Like, that's the market right now on asset-based loans in the US. And in Canada, sometimes often it's more expensive than that. So we're doing the seller a favor, bringing in some creative real estate, and we're getting much better financing terms and a much lower down payment. Even in many cases, we want to structure it so our down payment ends up being very, very low. So how about this? Tell me if it would be a deal if these were the terms. We negotiate, we land on 1.6 million. The seller is willing to finance 50% of the deal. I'm going to go to an asset-based lender or to a partner, and they're going to bring another probably about 40, 45% to the deal. Let's say 40. So we got 40% coming from a lender, 50% coming from the seller. You're responsible for 10% down. And the 50% that the seller is bringing to the table is at, let's be generous and say 4%, right? Would that be a deal for you? Is that a deal or no deal? Because that's the final result of a creative acquisition process. And I've spelled out the way to do it, okay? Is that a deal or no deal for you? Buying it cash at 1.6 million, let me go back to our numbers here. If we buy cash for 1.6 million, we would be at a 12.5 cap, but we're not buying it cash, we're buying it with terms. The seller is going to finance at a wonderful rate. The asset-based lender might be expensive. If you bring in a partner, it might be equity part of the deal, and that might be free money as well. So you can literally buy this thing with 10% down and 5% financing on half of the purchase price. So 50% of the deal would be 800,000. That's what the seller would be seller financing. Let's say we're at 4%. That means there's $32,000 of interest to pay on that interest only loan that the seller carries. The property has a $200,000 NOI. So now there's a mortgage to pay of $34,000. This property would be net after all expenses and mortgage, $166,000 US a year. And we had to put 10% down, right? We had to put 10% of 1.6 million, which is 160,000. So tell me, would you invest $160,000 down payment to make $166,000 year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5? It's 100% cash on cash return, ladies and gentlemen, 100%. Do what you have to do to find 160,000. Learn how to structure the deal. Find a deal, find the money, get retired. So, ladies, I don't know, are you sleeping here or is technology dead? Like, is this a deal or no deal for you? Deal or no deal? Well, if it is a deal and you really are interested, okay, AZ, wonderful. AZ thinks it's a deal. Fantastic. So, AZ, if this is a deal and you're interested, Marianne says it's a deal. Way, fantastic. So, this is a real thing. It's in my inbox right now. I'm preparing an offer, just like so many members in our community right now are putting offers on deals like this one, some smaller, some bigger. But the idea here is there is a process, there is a blueprint to follow. This is not on market. This is off market. This is a gatekeeper sending it to me. And then we're negotiating in a certain way. We're going to get it under contract, protect our assets, get in with as little money as possible, buy assets with as little money down, as much cash flow as possible, so that we can continue buying cash flow after cash flow after cash flow and reach our freedom number. So I think this definitely has the potential for a deal, especially somebody wanting to immigrate to the US. They're already thinking about investing at least 100,000. Why not in a car wash, which is a commercial real estate? And that's that. So that's our deal reveal for today. I guess the last deal I wanted to let you know exists is the investor portfolio bundle. During this last blueprint, for the first time ever, we did a basically shop with JK experience where we explained all of the different programs and bundles that we have. One of such bundles that we have is the investor portfolio bundle, which you might not even know exists. And so what is involved in the investor portfolio bundle? It is an e-course, but the gurus don't tell you. This is setting up your business in the US. What do you do so you're not setting it up all sideways and it takes you 10 years to set it up correctly? You just do it once from the start the right way. It comes with our Blueprint Expanded program. So the people who've attended the Blueprint before, you may not know, but there's a whole Blueprint Expanded, which is basically double down on the Blueprint. And every topic, we go deeper into it. And there's a 200-page workbook attached, an action plan-based workbook attached to the Blueprint Expanded program that is out of this world. The resources, the scripts, the templates, the questions to ask your power team member, it's all in there. We go deeper in every topic of the Blueprint. We have a whole other program called the Co-Wholesale Bootcamp, which we talk about in the Blueprint. We give you the high levels on how to do it, but in the Investor Portfolio Bundle, there's a whole course on that specifically. It's a 5-module course to make sure you have the action plan you need to get your wholesale deals wholesaled. We have our negotiations course, Master Negotiations, where we go through, I think it's 60 strategies, 60 negotiation strategies. What to use, when to use it, why to use it, what tone, what speech, what story, it's all in there because negotiations is a big part of this game. Then another program part of the Investor Portfolio Bundle, and by the way, all these programs are available separately, but the bundles create the best value for your bang for your buck. We have a program called the Multifamily Manifestation. This is a program specifically focused on 5+ units, commercial assets, just like a car wash. So we go under like 5+ apartment buildings. We go into hotels. We go into like car washes. And so how do you get over your mental block around these assets if it's there? How do you manifest multifamilies into your portfolio? Because that's a big jump for a lot of investors to start residential and then go into more some of the commercial. So this is a program that's just focused on that. How do you approach it? How do you calculate it? How do you believe you can do it? And the last program in this bundle is the Millionaire Mindset Miracle. This is the program where we bring some of our mentors, our millionaires and billionaire mentors, to you, their greatest hits, their greatest lessons, so we can all learn from the giants themselves, giants that have crafted our path, who have blazed our path, and now we're bringing and blazing it into our industry for you. So we have another 4-module course with some of our mentors in there, including Jim Rohn, Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, who else is in there? Jack Canfield. There's a whole bunch of giants in there. So this is the investor portfolio bundle, these 6 programs. And I want to let everybody know that we have recently put together some guides on Facebook for you. So everyone on this call, I sure hope you are part of the Now for Tomorrow Club, our open but private Facebook group. With well over 1,000 members now. And if you go into the guides section of the group, you will see here the shop with US, your next steps. And so it goes from the blueprint to the blueprint expanded, to the blueprint expanded bundle, to the investor portfolio bundle, which is what I talked about you today. By the way, all those programs I mentioned are given live. Okay, so it's a 12-week live. We go through these programs one after the other. And if you're interested in some of the larger packages, if you've been us for a little while and you really want to jump in, we have the NFTC and the NFTC experience that you can click on these and get to know all the details about these programs as well. And so that is what I wanted to show you. So much to be excited for this week and in the weeks and months and years to come. I was telling Janie, I've been telling everyone for the last 2 days that I'm feeling right now exactly how I felt when Janie and I first got into US real estate, because opportunities were everywhere. With the knowledge we're giving you, the pressure in the marketplace that's just naturally being provided in the marketplace right now, with this knowledge and these programs, it's so put together in such a streamlined, actionable way that if you just follow the recipe, like, there's no other way but to be successful. So now you have the guide section. If you haven't seen anything and the blueprint is your first step, that's fantastic. The recording to last weekend's blueprint is going to be available to you in probably 24, 48 hours, because we're doing some video editing and we're making it all nice and pretty and putting it into your JK portal. And so if you're interested in the recording, you can just go to n4t.club/blueprint and you can get access to the recording of last weekend. And if you're interested in any of those, well, you know where to go. That's Facebook guide section, brand new. So we hope you enjoy these, the effort we've put in to make everything more understandable and enjoyable. And so until next time, we'll see you at 7 next week on the next deal reveal. And as always, don't forget, go get your miracle. And that's by doing now for tomorrow. Have a great evening, everyone.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Live for today. Keep chasing the sunshine and go out and play.
And one last thing, if you're still on, if you're on Facebook and you have a question at any time, you can write to us and tag the JK team. So at JK team, we're there to help you. Have a great day, everyone. See you soon.